Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of December 16th, 2020. Fairly decent sized week this week, and next week will probably be next week is big too. They're trying to get everything out before. I think there's less books in between Christmas and New Year's, but I don't remember exactly what the shipping schedule is. But there's a fair amount of books this week, so let's get right to it. First up, we have finally finishing Amethyst number 6 of 6. It's been an interesting book. I've liked the story. My niece has really liked the story, so I know she's going to be stoked to finally get the last issue, but also sad that there's a last issue. So, oh well. Next up, we have Aquaman number 66. This is part 4 of Endless Winter. So yeah, there's a few more in here, so I'll tell you the parts as we go. But Aquaman part 4 of Endless Winter. Check it out. Endless Winter's been okay. It's kind of just a kind of tropey element person comes in and everything's winter, or like all that. Yeah, something happens. Anyway, next up we have Batman number 105, more with Clown Killer and Ghost Maker. So we'll see what happens with that. Issue 12 of a Batman miniseries is finally out, which means I can purge after this is done. And that's The Batman's Grave, number 12. It's been okay. It is what it is. So can't wait to finish it up. And yeah. Next up, we have Catwoman at number 28 with an amazing Joelle Jones cover. Awesome as always. And yeah, Catwoman's been pretty interesting since the creative team change. It's still good. I'm enjoying it, but I don't know what the end game is with it. So yeah, what is that thing right there? Yeah, get that off. Yeah, weird. Okay. Next up is Commanders in Crisis number 3 by Steve Orlando. This is one of the variant covers, I believe. Yeah, this is cover 3. So this is the one I preferred, so I decided to just grab this one. Next up, it's been okay. The first issue was interesting. The second issue added more. So we'll see where it goes. I think it's only slated for 6 issues. So once it's done, I'll probably purge it out. But it's not bad. Next up, we have a Dark Knight's Death Metal number 6. We're finally getting close to the end of this Dark Knight's Death Metal thing. I think it's been... We talked about this on the podcast a little and got rebuked a little, but I really feel that there are way too many one-shots going on in this event. Dark Knights are just Metal had the two Forge issues, which were kind of set up for it, which I really enjoyed. And then they had the Bat character one-shots that explain the origins of all these Bat amalgam characters, and that was really good. And then they had a handful more that was kind of like interspersed stuff here and there. Metal also had the crossover in the crossovers in Justice League with and also Green Arrow and Teen Titans, and I want to say Nightwing was on. So it crossed over in a lot of different books in their actual run. So I think with Metal, they had an okay amount of those one-shots. I haven't counted, but it really feels like there is a ton of these one-shots, more so than the previous one. And I think people are kind of getting bogged down with it. It's kind of the format, and I hate to say this, but it's kind of the format that happened during Fear Itself, with that storyline from Marvel, where the main book was like, and this stuff is going on, and then blah blah blah, and then go over to this tie-in issue and go see what happens there, and then you come back and it'll be so it was like it kept trying to shoot you off and go read about what was going to happen in this over there. It's not that extreme in Dark Knight's Death Metal, but a lot of stuff does happen outside the main series that actually pertains to the main series. So yeah, I think that I think that the mapping of it was probably what people are kind of tired of. But I've been still enjoying Metal. Dark Knight Death Metal is still great. You need to check it out if you haven't. If you haven't read Metal, you should read it. It's fun. All that fun stuff. Next up was a new #1 from Boom, from a franchise. And it's written by the author and I think a co-author. I don't know. But that is The Expanse, #1 of 4. James S.A. Corey is writing a comic book. They've already technically done an Expanse comic book with it, Origins. So that is, so I finished reading that earlier this month. And it was really cool. You got these origins of the characters, all that stuff. So I'm really curious to see what this book brings to it, because I know the Expanse not only has the novels, but there's also other stuff as well. Like, I think there's like little novellas and all that, which I haven't read yet, but I want to. And so, yeah, so I'm super stoked that The Expanse #1 is out. It's also great that it comes out on the same day that Amazon is now streaming season 5. Season 5 on Expanse is out today. So I'm super stoked to check it out this evening after I get my kids to bed, and I can just sit down and enjoy The Expanse. Because The Expanse has just been... I really had my doubts going into the book series, but once I started reading it, like I was hooked, and I just plowed through, and it was amazing. So I highly recommend the Expanse book series to you guys. I know that's not comic books, but there is comic book related stuff connected to it now, and so it's easier to say, yeah, go check it out. Plus, it's sci-fi. Most of you people like sci-fi anyway. So, Expanse, it's good stuff. Next up, we have Endless Winter Part 5 in Justice League number 58. So we're going to get more of this Endless Winter thing. I kind of like how the event's going. Main book, chapter in the tie-ins, and then it's done, I think, with another one shot. I like that style of crossover. It tends to be a little bit more, what's the word, fluid when it comes to like passing the torch. So with whatever's happening in the story, as long as that torch gets passed to the current, like to that writing team, and they do a good job and then they shoot it back, I feel that that's a little more organic than kind of just, you gotta write Endless Winter chapter, and your character, what's your character doing in it? Like, I prefer it if their story's connected and it moves through. But we'll see. Next up, we have Raw Array number 10 from Valiant. This series is still going. It's still booking, still good. Like, I mean, the series that was before it was amazing. It's still continuing that story. Valiant has a lot of great properties that I think that hopefully they can pull through, because Exo Manowar finally started to come back out after such a long hiatus from issue 1 to 2. So hopefully Valiant can pull through and get into 2021 and become back, bringing us the great content that is the Valiant universe. Next up is one I'm super stoked for, and I wanted to read it before, and I normally read it before I record, but due to shipping delays, we didn't actually get DC books at the shop until this morning, and so I didn't get my books until later this afternoon. So I didn't get a chance to read it over the weekend like I normally would, because our shipment will be sitting at the shop, and waiting to be processed eventually in the next week. But that is Rorschach number 3 from Tom King, and George Fornes is art. Man, those first 2 issues were amazing. The second issue was just fantastic. I cannot wait to see where he takes this story. It's just really, really great stuff coming from Tom King. So I cannot wait to dive into issue 3. Oh, excuse me. Next up we have, and I don't know if this is an ongoing or if it's a one-shot. It might be an ongoing, I'm not sure. But Second Coming, Only Begotten Son number 1. I think this continues the Second Coming stuff. I liked the Second Coming. It was okay. It was, for what it was entertaining. Mark Russell did a fine job with it. It did what it needed to do. And I'm curious to see what we get out of this next one. This next title was in my poll, literally like this. We had a little note from Comics Conspiracy, and so I'm going to read you this note real quick. Comics Conspiracy, thanks for your continued support of Comics Conspiracy. Here's a free copy of Solid Blood number 17 by Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley from Image Comics. We think you might like it if you're a hardcore Image fan. You might remember Robert Kirkman from a short-lived horror comic, The Dead Walk, from a few years ago. Image overshipped these to us, and instead of throwing them in the trash, we'd rather give them to some of our favorite customers enjoy. So we do this sometimes where Kirkman has done these surprise drops of books and stores just get them. It's a really great kind of promotional thing. Stores love it because it's, basically free money for them. They get these free books and they get to put them out and sell them. Now, I know this book is on eBay currently for I saw one for $70. No, don't overpay at all for this thing. You should, if anything, you should pay $4 for it at your local shop. If your local shop is trying to sell it to you for more, yeah, they're shady and you shouldn't buy from them anymore. But we sometimes do this where we get those free books from Robert Kirkman or Image, and we give them to people who have got Robert Kirkman books in the past, or who are interested in certain genres, or if we get enough, we'll just give it to all of our subscribers. So this is the book. It's Solid Blood number 17. I flipped through it a little bit. I did a little research on it to see what it was about. Part of me thought it was something to do with Invincible, but it's not. It's actually supposed to be something of a alternative universe where the character Michonne is used differently. There's a whole story behind it where Kirkman pitched something back at Image before Walking Dead called Dead Planet, and Michonne was a character in that that he brought over into The Walking Dead. So this is kind of like an alternate universe for Michonne where there's probably more explanation in the book itself and in the back in the letter column from what I understand. But I'm super stoked to check it out. What I really like about it is that it is super thin, like tiny, but it's like full on comic book length. It's because they use the old paper stock from the 90s. So it's super tiny and it's super light. Oh man, these books, oh, I love light books. It's amazing. New books are heavy. Seriously, they're heavy. But yeah, hopefully you get a chance to check out Solid Blood number 17. Hopefully your local shop isn't shady and starts putting it out for $20 or, more than cover price today or tomorrow. Yeah, that's just, ugh. Be on the lookout for that when you head down to your local shop. Hopefully you did grab a copy at a decent, at retail, and you enjoy it. Let me know if you get it, and in the comments below, let me know what you think of it, all that wonderful stuff. But let's keep going. Next up, we have Superman number 28. We're continuing on with the Superman stuff. Bendis' run is coming down to the wire, and we'll see what happens afterwards. I don't know who exactly is following up after Bendis, because we get Future State, and so after Future State, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I think the solicitations are going to be out or out already for the end of Future State, so after stuff should be next month, so we'll see. But Bendis' run has been amazing. Next up is Tales from the Dark Multiverse, Crisis on Infinite Earths. These what-if alternate reality dark versions of big events in the DC Universe are just really cool. I cannot wait to dive into the Crisis one. Every one I've enjoyed on some level. None of them have been horrible. They've been good to great. So yeah. But again, it's adding to that death metal thing where there's a lot of stuff coming out with death metal and dark multiverse and all this stuff. But those are really fun, and they're not really connected to metal. So, let me rephrase. They're connected to metal, but not directly right now. They're from the dark multiverse. So, yeah. Next up is part 6 of the Endless Winter, and that is the Teen Titans special. Looks like they're going in alphabetical order with these. Titans just finished up. I just put my run up with, minus issue 12. I might throw this in. I don't know. If Endless Winter is good, I'll keep it, so that way I have all the Endless Winter crossover issues. If it's not, if Endless Winter is just meh, I might throw this into the run of my Teen Titans that I have up on eBay. Yes, Sans issue 12. And the reason it's Sans issue 12 is Teen Titans suffers much from like New Mutants and New Teen Titans, where a character is introduced and their first appearance is ridiculously overpriced. And so, yeah, and the character that first appears in Teen Titans 12 from 2016 is none other than the Batman Who Laughs. So, yeah, I'm keeping that one. Sorry. But the rest of the run is up on eBay right now. So, yeah, check it out. Next up, we have Walking Dead Deluxe number 5. We're on 5? Yeah, we're on 5 already. I'm one issue away. One more issue, and I will read through the colored versions and give you my hot take on it. But I'm waiting for 6 issues because I am so used to reading Walking Dead in trade format that I cannot think of reading it in single issue. But I want to experience it kind of how I experienced it the first time in these nice chunks of Walking Dead. So once I have all 6 of those issues, I'm going to just plow through them, and I'll let you know what I think of the colored versions of The Walking Dead, the Walking Dead Deluxe series. Next up, we have a title that for number 1's already gotten the third printing, and people should check this out if they can. If their store ordered it, great. If your store didn't, see if you can still get a copy. I have no idea. Pick up a second print, figure something out, but it's good. It's We Live by the Miranda Brothers from Aftershock. This is issue 3, and man, it's really, really fun title. I've enjoyed it. There's music connected to it through that's on YouTube through QR codes, and issue 1 had a couple tracks in it, and here we go with the QR code right there for number 3. I already knew they were going to have the audio music going along with this issue because I subscribed to the We Live YouTube channel, so it notified me when they dropped it a few days ago. So I've already technically heard the song. I can't recall completely what it is, but I like it. It's cool. It's a different thing. But yeah, We Live is still really interesting. If you can get a chance, check it out. And finally on my pull list is We Only Find Them When They're Dead, number 4. Al Ewing's basically independent book of just space and dead gods and all the really great stuff. Amazing, fantastic. The art is just, it works perfectly. So yeah, if you have not checked out We Only Find Them When They're Dead, you seriously need to because it's really good. I did get some variant covers this week. First one was for Aquaman number 66. I like that cover. They're doing all these like wintry covers as the variants for the Endless Winter tie-in books. Batman, of course, I had to grab the variant cover for Batman. And then there was the 1 in 25 variant that I snagged up as well. Catwoman had an amazing Jenny Friesen cover, so I picked that one up as well. Dark Knight's Death Metal, David Finch did an awesome Swamp Thing. Snag that one up for Dark Knight's Death Metal number 5. We have a Mr. Miracle here for Dark Knight's Death Metal number 5. And then we have the Bat Rex right there. There you go. Bat Rex. Awesome stuff for issue 5. Those are the variants. The Expanse actually came with a variant, and so I snagged that one up as well because, you know, I like the Expanse, and yeah, I want to I want to get what I can. Next up is Justice League, and we have another Endless Winter kind of whitish cover with them kind of wearing snow apparel, except for Aquaman. He doesn't need it because he's used to cold water, and snow is technically the solid form of water. Yeah. There's a variant for Rorschach that's very, very Rorschach-testy right there. Awesome stuff. Teen Titans Endless Winter, or the Endless Winter special. had a snowish winter theme there. And I picked up the variant for We Only Find Them When They're Dead, number 4. So, yeah. One graphic novel came out that I picked up this week, and that is the OGN Reckless by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. I've been grabbing these because they're just really solid and really good. I need to go back and get a couple more of them that I missed. One I missed because it's the topic. I didn't really feel like at the time I wanted to read about stuff like that. So I'm probably going to go back and pick that one up. But they did include a print in it, signed print. So for those of you, a book plate, whatever, so insert. But yeah, Reckless. It's an original graphic novel from Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Can't wait to dive into this one and see what it's all about. And if it's Ed Brubaker, it's normally really pretty good. So that's it for this week's pull list. What is it? Oh, talk about that. Yeah. Yeah. But I wanted to say a couple things. I did finish Star Wars Alphabet Squadron, which is the novel that's connected to the Star Wars, it's having crossover with the Star Wars comic books. So TIE Fighter is actually a crossover with Alphabet Squadron. Now there's another Alphabet Squadron book in the series that's out. I have not picked it up yet. I need to. But I really enjoyed Alphabet Squadron, and TIE Fighter was really good. So if you're curious about that Star Wars stuff, you should check it out. They're doing some crossover stuff, which I think is really cool. I'm also reading something that's, if I've mentioned before, I was introduced to Frederick Backman, a book called Beartown. Every time. It does it every time. It's Beartown. There's a sequel to Beartown, and that is Us Against You. And I checked this out from the library, and I had to renew it. But I wanted to show you what's down here on the bottom. It's the large print edition for like old people. So I blow through pages like so fast. I'm like, this is like 700 pages, and I'm already like there. It's ridiculous how fast. But it's I like it. It's great. I'm curious to read other Frederick Backman titles. But I'm glad I jumped in at Beartown, and now on to Us Against You. So, good stuff. I also did something this past weekend with my kids. We started our D&D campaign from the starter set. I DM'd for the first time in my life, and it was nerve-wracking. And there was a lot of over-preparing on my part, that, you're better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. But I played with my son, my daughter, my roommate, and his son, and it actually went really well. At first, the kids were not sure about it because there was just a lot of stuff going on, and they didn't realize that it was something that was happening in here, in your imagination. So, excuse me. So once we established that and got through it, it started to move forward. We did not get very far in the starter set campaign, which is fine. We got where we got, but it was a really fun time. My daughter at one point was really not getting into it, and she wasn't all there, and they were battling some goblins, and stuff was not going right for them. And all of a sudden, she rolls that D20, and she gets a 20, and everybody's just woohoo, and she feels awesome because she's got that critical hit, and it's double damage, and the smile on her face was amazing. So I know the kids are excited to continue the campaign, so we'll probably continue it Saturday, and hopefully it'll be a reoccurring thing at the house while but I'll have to take a break after the first one to get ready for the second one. But yeah, no, it was fun. I felt a little more comfortable as DM after getting into it a bit. I did listen to some podcasts and watched a couple of YouTube videos about how to do it. But for the most part, I think the rule book and the early campaign, Lost Mines of Phandelver, are very interesting and very deep, but I think that they're not the best introduction. I think it needs a little bit more guidance from the book itself. We're more guiding the story, but yeah. So I'll keep you guys updated on that if there's anything cool that happens. I can't remember the names right now that the characters were given, but let's see. No, it was my daughter was the fighter with the female. She's a female fighter with the bow and arrow, and her name is Elizabeth. We didn't get a last name yet, but we'll get it soon. My roommate was what was it?
I don't remember. It was like...
It's like Caro or something.
Caro, yeah.
Caro. Lightfinger. He's a wizard.
No, Lightfinger. Lightfoot.
Oh, Lightfoot. Sorry, Lightfoot. He was a wizard. And then we had Noradit the 12th. That was my roommate's son's character, who was the dwarf cleric, who basically wanted to be called by that title, Noradit the 12th. So yeah, one of the characters, my son's character, Arceus, no last name yet, basically already made a nickname in game for Noradit, which makes Noradit very, very angry. So he just calls him Norad. So yeah, so interesting stuff that's happening, but yeah, it's fun times. I would recommend it as at least an experience to try out. I'm curious to see where it goes. But that's it for this week. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, that thing, that subscribe button thingy too. I'm purposely pointing to the wrong area. But yeah, leave your comments down in that comment section right down there. You can let me know what you're reading. If you have any questions, comments, all that stuff. Keep it nice. Keep it, all that. We don't want the internet's a crappy place. It can be a crappy place, and we don't want to add to it. So keep it all nice here. If you want, you can listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode 478 and 479. We had a delay in recording last week, and then we had a complete fiasco of down to internet on Thursday of last week when we tried to record where we talked about all the Disney announcement stuff. And so we finished up that recording this past week and recorded episode 479. So there'll be a link in the description below for both episodes, so you can check them out. You can go, you can help us out also through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting fees and getting products. So thank you very much to our Patreon backers. It helps out immensely and keeps me in comic books so I can make these videos for you guys. And want to do more, but maybe one day when I have better behaved children that aren't so loud and whispery over there in the corner. Don't give your dad a dead look. It's not worth it. You want to eat tonight? Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, you can help me out a little more directly by clicking on any of the Amazon links here or at conspiratorbaroque.com. Reckless is the one that I have up this week on there, and so if you click on that link and you buy it, it will cut me a little Amazon money. Thank you for everyone who does that. And you can go over to my eBay page where I get a little bit, it's more direct. So thank you for everyone that buys through there. And you can check out the Teen Titans lot that I have up and see if it's something that's up your alley. I know, yawning so bad. See, I need to record, like if I record these earlier in the afternoon, I'm normally okay. If I get later in the day on Wednesday, because I've had such a long week so far, yeah, it gets to be pretty tiring. But, no excuses. Just smack myself and splash water on my face. Something, right? Just wake up. Normally you could follow me on Twitter, but I'm still suspended. It's been over 2 months. Twitter support has not gotten back to me. Don't know what's happening on that end. Every week I send another appeal going, I was auto blocked for, basically what you said I did. I didn't do. I can see how it can be construed how I did, like that way, but it's not that way. So yeah. So who knows what's gonna happen with that? But yeah. That's it for this week. It's been a half an hour video already. You guys probably checked out way before and are not even watching this. So, as usual, I'll see you next week.